Today we are incorporating some of my favorite Dollar Tree hacks into some really fun projects using Dollar Tree canvases and wall art pieces to create high-end decor on a budget. This video is sponsored by Kraftsby. A huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. I'll have more on them later, but let's go ahead and get started. One of the easiest DIYs that you can make using Dollar Tree products is just to collect some frames of different shapes and sizes. You can actually mix and match. I found some Hobby Lobby frames on clearance, so I'm upgrading the larger one just so it's a little bit more sturdy whenever I take the backing off. But all I am doing is removing the inserts in here, removing the plastic and the tags, and leaving these as just the frames. And then you want to take these outside and spray paint these a coordinating color. So I'm using this charcoal gray, and I end up giving all of these the first coat and then kind of going over it with a little bit of coordinating stone paint just to mix it up so they don't all look perfectly matchy-matchy. For this little black one, I barely spritzed it so you can still see some of the black underneath, but this will fill in a huge space, just a few bucks, but really adds a lot of texture and dimension. The next project, I picked up a Dollar Tree canvas. You can pick up any that you like the best. I thought this one was really cool. It was a fun color, had this little abstract rainbow art on there, and I just thought it was really fun. But it's muted enough that I can really decorate the front and it's not going to take away from it. It's not going to look too busy. So for this, I needed a stand. So I'm just taking a piece of Dollar Tree wood and painting it with some mineral color chalk paint, and then glue my canvas in the center of this. I am going to glue it towards the back, so I do have a little ledge in the front to glue some wooden beads. Now I like to pick up my wooden beads on a strand at Hobby Lobby. Usually during the seasonal months they put these on sale and you can get them for $4 or $5. Or you can use the smaller Dollar Tree beads, but I do like these bigger ones because I'm going to be putting some little greenery pieces in here, and these are just large enough to help hold them up. I do add just a touch of hot glue to the bottom of the stem because I don't want these falling out and having to pick them back up, but these are going to act as little holders for all of this greenery. Now you could mix this up and put a ton of different florals in here, really add some tops of flowers and make it more colorful, but for me, I just wanted to keep it these muted tones and just thought it was so fun. I did try to play around with the how tall or short they are so that it did mix it up a little bit, and then added a couple more in the back so it was a little bit taller on the edges. I had a gap there that needed filled in, but this looks really cool. Like I mentioned, a perfect way to take any of your favorite canvases, dress it up so you don't have to hang this small on the wall, but it would fill up like a shelf or entryway table and just fill up a larger space this way. Now, I'd like to take a second to tell you a little bit more about Kraftsby and thank them for sponsoring today's video and offering my subscribers an incredible deal. I have been using Kraftsby for a little while now, and I'm still loving it. Kraftsby, if you don't know what it is an online community and resource where millions of creative crafters, makers, and DIYers find creative inspiration, advance their skills, and just really get to branch out of their comfort zones to try something new, including new art skills. Kraftsby offers over 2,000 exciting classes, everything from crocheting, knitting, painting, photography, which is super fun. I am always trying to up my skills when it comes to painting, trying out new techniques, new mediums, and Kraftsby is perfect for this. I love this class, Mix It Up, Mixed Media Step by Step by Lindsay Wyrick. She really breaks it down step by step to help you better understand without getting overwhelmed. It's an easy to follow art class that I know you guys are going to love and are led by award-winning instructors. And there is a variety of classes, including this class, Skillet Dinners for Busy Weeknights by Robin Miller. So if you just want some fun inspiration, food inspiration for those busy work nights, Kraftsby is made for curious people who are seeking new creative inspiration and looking to learn new skills. The first 1,000 of my subscribers that goes and clicks the link in the video description will receive 1 month of Kraftsby Premium membership for free. So definitely go check that out. Be creative, get inspired, find yourself a fun new hobby that you have been wanting to try. A huge thank you to Kraftsby for sponsoring today's video, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get back into some more DIYs. When it comes to needing to make your own wall art, these $3 Dollar Tree signs, they're in the plus section, are the perfect thing to grab. I've made these over a million times. I recently wanted to make like a reading nook, honestly, like in my bedroom as well as in my office, just a cozy place to sit and read or fill out my planner. I purchased a new white bookshelf that I want to get set up, just doing a few new fun things in the new house. But I wanted to create some fun little artwork to kind of set around it, whether that's on the bookshelf or maybe on a little side table. So I thought this was really fun. I go ahead and paint the black edging. I'm using this sign backwards, or it's backwards to the side that had the tag on it, just because whenever you flip it around, it looks like it has a frame this way. So I paint the frame black, and then going in with some old scrappy book pages. This is just a Dollar Tree book that I always keep going back to get new pages out of. And honestly, I've made so many things out of this book, but I'm trying to overlap them so they kind of look like they're scattered. I'll give these a couple seconds to dry without letting them dry too much, because I want to be able to cut away all the excess pages that are folded up and make this look flat. And then I'll go in and touch up any of the excess, like ripped pages or any of the excess glue on the frame. I'll go ahead and touch that up with some black paint. So I knew I wanted to keep the book theme with the book background, so I just typed in book quote on my Cricut design space, and I thought this one was really cute. It says, "A book a day keeps reality away," and I just loved it so much with the little stack of books on the edges and the little flowers coming up. I love the nice, like, thick, bold black print that's going to coordinate nice with the frame. So go ahead and weed this and then stick it to the book pages. Now, I personally think I'll go back in with a layer of Mod Podge a little bit later, just to make sure that I can just wipe this down and nothing's ever going to peel up. I feel like sometimes whenever you apply the vinyl to paper, it wants to pull away after a little bit, but I go ahead and secure this on there, and it is so gorgeous. I feel like you could definitely make this and sell it for quite a bit more than just the $3 sign that you've invested in it minus the vinyl. And I just feel like it's something really cute, like I mentioned, to just cozy up a little reading nook to decorate with. I love how it's kind of neutral, but it just all coordinates really nice together. So love how this turned out, really, really cute, and I'll definitely be making some more. Okay, so I was loving using all of these pages torn out, so I wanted to Mod Podge them onto a canvas. I picked the largest canvas that Dollar Tree had to offer, and it's this really thin one, so I wanted to build a frame for it. But I go ahead and just apply Mod Podge to the entire page and then Mod Podge it down. Now, I just went ahead and applied it to the entire page on every piece, even the pieces I barely did, because I didn't want to have to worry about any of it peeling up or not getting glue underneath all the pages. But go ahead and just kind of turn them different directions to make them look like they're kind of thrown on there. After this dried and hardened, I went ahead and just barely trimmed around the edges and then used a piece of sandpaper to just pull it over the edges, and this just makes it have a nice smooth edge, so I'm able to pull the excess off. And then using some Dollar Tree wood, I decided to go ahead and build a frame. This stain color is Varathane Western Oak. It's just like the perfect darker color. I really like it because it has more like gray tones than orange tones. I completely cover the frame and then go ahead and wipe it away. After letting that dry, I'm attaching the canvas to the frame since it doesn't have a back. I'm using popsicle sticks to do this. I just hot glue them over the edge of both. And then I'm using this large black home sign from the Dollar Tree. And then using my Cricut, I cut out with vinyl is my favorite place to be. I love mixing like materials like this whenever I'm making signs. It just really adds depth, and I love how like the mixing fonts and the size of fonts all looks. So using my transfer tape, I go ahead, cut that out and transfer it to the paper. I actually worried that the transfer tape would stick to this book paper, but maybe since it has a little bit of Mod Podge on the top, I was able to pull it off pretty easily. I was pretty shocked, and then glued the home sign down. But this is how it came out. I think it's really cute. It's a really fun, large piece that would look gorgeous displayed with a lot of like fake plants. One of my favorite hacks is to look for wall art pieces, because wall art at the Dollar Tree is not only very inexpensive, a lot of times they have weird looking art that I really wouldn't want to style in my home, but sometimes you find like these more neutral, just kind of blended in neutral pieces that I like a lot more. So one of my favorite things, just to upgrade this canvas just a little bit so I'm not setting it on the shelf more inexpensive looking, I love to take a wooden bead garland. I have just wooden beads. I cut them in half with my miter shears and then attach them around the frame. I have actually stuck this like to a actual plastic frame before around a wall art, but for this I'm putting it on the edge of the canvas, and I love it so much more. It gives it a really cool effect while bringing in some more of those warm wood tones. So it's going to dress it up a little bit, not putting a lot of money into it, not putting a lot of work into it, but getting a really fun end result. Things to make, because it can be really pricey, especially if you're looking up high-end brands. You can definitely find inspiration anywhere. So just using some very inexpensive blank white canvases, I wanted to share with you how I quickly turned them into some gorgeous wall art pieces that you're not going to be able to tell that I didn't pay a lot of money for these. So first I'm just using some paint that I watered down. I want more of like a watercolor look from this, so I want to give it a little splash of color in the backing. So using a sage green color, or this was called celery, I paint it directly on the canvas, and I do let this dry a couple minutes and go ahead and do a couple of coats because I do want to darken it up a little bit, and then I'll be able to cut out my decals. I use my Cricut a lot to get like a boho look. I love cutting out plants. It's one of my favorite things. I've even made like a rug using some succulents that turned out really cute, but I found a couple of vines or plants that I really liked. And in my canvas, so Cricut Design Space, I am going to be moving them around, making them smaller. After I get my images how I like them, I like to draw a box around the entire thing and attach them together so they all cut out in one piece and I don't end up losing a leaf if it's not attached. And then I can make this once again using my smart materials. I select without a mat. I just load this into my machine and have it cut out within just a couple of minutes. For this specific project, I'm going to be actually applying the decal to it, not using it as a stencil. So I'm just weeding away the outside. It has a little bit of details inside these leaves that I'm pulling away. And then using my transfer tape, I cut it down to size. Using my little scraper tool, I apply it to the transfer tape and put it directly on the canvas. I love that pop of green color as the backing. And then you can actually flip this over and apply it a little bit harder to make sure it's not going anywhere. I remove my transfer tape and left with a gorgeous piece. You could leave this as is, but to make these look a little bit more high-end, I wanted to make them bigger. So using some little wooden frames, or these are larger wooden frames, I go ahead and paint them black because it's coordinating with my Cricut vinyl, and then I am just attaching the canvas directly to these pieces. It makes them look bigger. I'm displaying my cute little Cricut cutouts right in the center of these, and I feel like they're perfect together. So I always feel like it looks a lot more high-end if you make like multiple pieces and hang them together or make them larger somehow, but I feel like these colors are perfect and will go really good with my home decor. These collage frames are one of my favorite things to grab. They have a nice black frame on them and you can pair them with pretty much anything. I have this large chunky family word. It actually came from Target Dollar Spot, but you could use any Dollar Tree word that you have. The point of this though is to share with you how to use the Mod Podge on just blank glass, and it really makes it really pretty. It's a little bit hard to show up on camera, but instead of just plain glass, it really makes it more of like a stained effect. You can add colors in Mod Podge if you barely add a dot of paint. For this, I'm just leaving it clear, but I want to go ahead and paint the word like a coordinating color to the frame so that it looks like it has a floating word on there. So this turned out really cute. You could spray paint this, but we have been having still chilly nights and my spray paint seems to not work right whenever it's really cold, and for whatever reason I just have to bring it back in and get it back up to room temperature, like the actual paint can itself, before it wants to work again. So let me know if that's a thing. I know it can be too cold to like let it dry correctly, but I didn't think that my paint can would like malfunction as much as it has in like the chilly night. So definitely something I need to do in warmer weather, I guess. But for this, I go ahead and let the family word dry, and then using the Mod Podge, you can dab your finger, but that seemed like it was taking quite a while. So I'm using one of these little small cosmetic sponges that I found at Dollar Tree and just dabbing this all over. I go ahead and do 2 coats of this, letting it completely dry in between, and you can just see that it gives it a really fun like matte effect rather than just having like the clear glass. I glue down my family word right in the middle, and this is a fun effect. Like I said, it's kind of hard to show up on camera, but you can kind of tell whenever I hold it up, just the detail in there, and it gives it like a fun frosted look. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video. Don't forget about Kraftsy, and I thank them for sponsoring today's video. Remember, go click the link, the first 1,000 of my subscribers that goes and clicks the link under the video description will receive 1 month of Kraftsy Premium membership for free by clicking the link, so don't forget about that. Let me know in the comments down below which project was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting. Bye.